All right, Battle Club Pro, Ridgefield Park High Spot Podcast. If we would have known we would have our next guest, we had a whole boatload of pizza waiting for him. Hellen Vale, how you doing?
I'm doing great now that I had my pizza, so.
So what brings you to Battle Club Pro, Ridgefield Park?
Wrestling. Duh. Even if you're not a part of it, you should still love it and watch and enjoy everything.
Well, first question I have to ask, Jeff, since you will avoid it, and I like to ask the tough questions here. We must say,
You're calling me soft?
Yes, I am. Pleasantly surprised of the new look and do we're having here. I must say that I am a huge fan of it. Anybody who isn't, screw you. Doesn't really matter if you don't like it or not. Tweet us at High Spot Podcast if you don't agree. You will be blocked. But I must like it. What inspired you to kind of change things up a little bit?
I guess I've grown a little bit. When I had my red hair, I hated not showing off and looking different. But, like, I don't know. I thought I was going to blend in with everyone and not be so standoutish, but, like, everyone tonight's just digging it, and they're like, you should change it, just be more grown with your new gimmick. And I'm like, wow, I never thought of that, but I guess it works. Whatever the fuck I do, I guess it fucking works, and I'm not trying, but it works.
Fucking work, Jeff.
Hell yeah. So I didn't recognize you because when you came up to the table, the hair kind of threw me off. But
and I kind of dressed more provocatively, but now I look like a grandma, so it's all good.
I like it. It works. It works.
Thank you.
So you taking some time off?
Mm-hmm.
Any reason?
Well, first I had a really bad knee injury last year, and I can't take it. I can't take it long to get surgery, so I kind of wanted to heal on my own because I was doing matches even with the bum knee, and it was just horrible. My knee was giving out, and then I moved to Orlando for a couple months. Really wanted to just take a break and get my mind right. I was going through a lot, so I really just needed a time off, and hopefully by the time I can get back, it's just focused on wrestling and wrestling alone. So
when can we expect you back in the ring?
Well, I'm managing March 17th for Magic for Pinky Sanchez. Other than that, my first show, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's in April. Here, Battle Club has a women's show. I'm on that.
Mm-hmm. May 26th will be their first female show. Yeah.
Heal up, and then let's see you there.
Should I be a heel or should I be babyface with this new look, though?
Babyface.
Should I be babyface?
I think so.
Really?
But I think I like it better as a heel, if I must say so myself.
I don't think I can be babyface. So my first match back is April 28th for Rogue in Stevens, PA. And then after that, I have Nova in May 11th. And then Magic May 19th. They also have a women's show.
Now, would you say with the time off, unfortunately nobody wants to take time off in terms of due to injury, but again, you have to rest the body. But you think by taking time off, you've had the ability now of resting yourself not only physically but mentally as well, like you said before?
Yeah, because when you get caught up in
the grind, right? The daily grind of doing stuff?
Yeah, and like the bullshit and everything, you kind of just need to step back. And for the longest time, I didn't want to do that because I thought people were going to forget about me and nobody's going to remember me. When I come back, nobody's going to give a shit. But I've gotten nothing but support, and everyone's like, when are you coming back? And it just makes you feel really good, and it makes you concentrate harder about just wrestling, and that's it.
Do you think you've appreciated it more since you've been away a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Like, just even watching it now, I'm like, oh, my God, I can't wait to get back. And seeing the girls backstage and calling their match, and I'm just like, I want to get back and do this. So I can't wait.
Talked about it everywhere with every female we've had on the show. Women's wrestling is just on a huge upward turn. What's your thoughts on women's wrestling 2017 and 2018? It just looks amazing right now.
I can't believe when I first started, everyone was saying like, oh, women's wrestling is going to be, like they need women's wrestling and they need more women in the business. And they were having one match for women on a show. And look today, like there's two. There's so many more shows that are just strictly women. It's crazy to me because when I first started, nobody gave a shit about women, and they kind of just were like, all right, another women's match is going to be the shit. Let's go. Like, let's not even bother with it. And now people are like, it's a main event. Like, it's crazy how much it's changed and how many people like change their mind about women's wrestling.
Well, from my perspective, it was never really the fans that didn't want it. It was more the promoters want to take that risk and that chance to put them in terms, like you said, the main event. But then you have
you got wrestlers, like male wrestlers, thinking how pointless it was for women to wrestle, and they just were like, oh, whatever, it just sucked. Like, I've gotten so many critiques from male wrestlers that were just like, oh, it sucked. You're women. What else are you going to expect? But then, like, women actually pull off fucking phenomenal matches, and they were like, wow, that was really good. And I'm like, no shit, it was really good. Like, you guys just need to give us a chance.
Yeah, Jeff and I were talking about the match between Brian Cage and Tessa Blanchard, and how, when you look at the gigantic man of a Brian Cage and Tessa Blanchard, who, there's nobody to look over it well.
Held their own in that match.
They held their own, and it was a great match. So, even intergender matches now have become more common and more popular. Do you feel like people are accepting that more, and would you love to get involved in an intergender match more consistently?
I first started managing, and I didn't like just managing and standing around. I like to be in the match. So I learned to do a Hurricane Rana before I knew how to even fucking run the ropes. But it was on male, and anytime I love working males because I'm a high flyer. Males can carry. Women, like a woman my size can't fucking carry for a fucking Rana. It's kind of hard. I can't drop off the top and just land on a girl my size.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more fun to wrestle a guy if you're someone like me who wants to just fly around the ring.
Yeah, the physics are obviously different too. Like, you're jumping off, you can kind of be rest assured the guy's going to catch you and be safe in the sense that if you're dealing with somebody your size, there might have the risk of injury and things like that. So.
Oh yeah. Even though I've learned a lot of my moves that I do, it's women friendly. So I do a move that it's fucking Kalisto does it. Who did it first? Sin Cara used to do it. It's the head scissors into an armbar. So they just take a face bump. Mm-hmm. So it's for women or people. It doesn't have to just be women. It's people that can't carry and can't do certain things, like roll through a Rana or head scissors. Look who's coming out right now. I need to talk some shit. Wait, is he bringing the cat? Where's the cat?
I think it's attached to.
Give him the cat! There we go. Look at that shit. Yeah, I did that.
A little creative there, huh?
I like to make people happy. He wasn't so happy about it, but I was like, you have to fucking do it, okay?
Who she's referring to is Matt McIntosh, as we were talking here in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey at Bat Club Pro. Welcome to War, as Matt McIntosh is entering the ring.
Have to commentate.
Full of streamers.
He's getting fucking streamers and shit. I'm gonna talk mad shit to him later. I'd be like, you don't deserve streamers, you dick.
Well, we talked to Matt in Wrestle Pro. And you can tell in his matches, he's got that it factor. Really digging the bad apple thing. Talk about Matt in his wrestling, how far he's evolved.
Do you see this jacket that he has on? Guess whose idea it was? All right,
jacket.
Half of these ideas that he be carrying around is mine. I just want to take note, write that shit down. Hellen Vale, fucking amazing ideas here.
How about his progression as a wrestler since you've known him? How good has he gotten?
It's crazy. When I first started the business, I dated someone who. I'm not going to dog anyone because people know who I dated, but I didn't think he was a very good technical wrestler. He had a very good character. He had a very good gimmick. When I first met Matt, I was a fan right away. Even though we were dating, I was like, holy shit, you're fucking amazing. And he was like, no, stop. And I wanted to be trained by him. So every time I was at WrestlePro, I was trained by Matt. He helped me. We went to Open Ring many times. And I would put on my resume, like, Matt McIntosh. And he doesn't think he's as good as he
humble.
Yes, he's
very
so
humble,
but he's so good. And I tell people, I'm like, he's taught me so much shit. He's so fucking good. Fuck you, get out of here. I'm putting you over. Fuck you.
And now Matt's recognized that he's like, God damn, I'm gonna have to pay these guys not to put this on.
Seriously.
On
exactly.
I'm putting him over, and he's gonna talk mad shit later and be like, stop.
There's no price tag for us. It will go out. The content will go out. No amount of money will prevent us from putting this out, though. But it's funny, we talked to Matt, and one of the things Matt told me, which I was always surprised to, and I guess I'm surprised because obviously I don't know that side of the business. We only see it from one perspective as the fans and people that are admirers of this, as opposed to talent. He said his biggest thing is in the ring, he's not worried one bit, which you can clearly see. But it's when he grabs that microphone and he has to talk, that's something where, he's still learning, he wants to progress and get better at. At this stage in your career, what do you feel? Do you feel the same way? Because I've seen you in the ring. I've seen some of your matches on YouTube. Unfortunately, they put all of them out there. For whatever reason, I don't understand. Release the footage, goddammit.
They want you to pay fucking $2.99, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Exactly, or $9.99 on the network. But, what would you say in terms of where you are in your career now? Do you feel you want to progress even further to kind of get you to that next level that you want to be at?
It's crazy because when I actually really wanted to progress and think about it and be like, all right, I want this, it didn't work out. But when I don't give a shit and I kind of was just like, I cut this weird promo on Instagram the other day talking shit about cutting promos. And everyone's like, I love it. And I'm like, me being a bitch and or an attitude per se, people liked it. So now I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do whatever I want in reason. and progress. If I care too much, like you need to, like people say, stop caring and you'll get somewhere. When you care too much, it fucks with your mindset.
Yeah.
Like when I was in training, I remember I was training at New England Pro Wrestling Academy with Brian Fury, and I remember he was like, don't think too much about it, just do it. And once you do it, it soars from there, and people like that because it sets you apart, you know?
So there's a lesson to be learned. Don't overthink too much and just be yourself, because when you start...
I never think, so I'm always good.
That's my problem. I overthink too much. When you overthink, you mess yourself up, and then you're lost, and you look like a lost puppy when you're doing a promo or when you're trying to get in the ring.
But Jeff, what I have to say, and we've spoken about this about Hellen. It's I'm not here kissing her ass or anything like that. But when you can be yourself and have the volume turned up, that's what I always hear. I mean, you hear the great like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're not going to doubt what Stone Cold says. It's that when you're yourself and the volume turned up really high, that's when you're the most authentic, and that's where people can actually relate to you the most. And that's where it becomes more natural for you. Yeah. You don't feel like you're portraying a character.
I think that's why it's hard for me to be, I guess, babyface. Like somebody the other day wanted me to cut the super babyface promo, and I was like, okay, I'll try. And I cut it about 15 times, and I was like, this isn't me. So I cut this promo, and I would try. I was sarcastically babyface, and at the end I says, is that good enough for you? Is that babyface enough for you? Or should I try this again? And they were like, I love it. You're just the attitude. And I said, that's just me. It's just me.
Cool.
Yes.
It's just you.
And now you can't be a heel and you're cool and people are going to cheer for you. So I think if you do this, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, if you can't be mean, then don't try. Like don't try to cut this super heel promo and you just sound like a robot and you don't know what you're talking. No, if you don't like somebody or you don't like something they do, then just say it and then be like, yo, I was just cutting a promo and it was just coming from a place, whatever. Like the first promo I ever cut, I remember so deliberately because I went to the show afterwards and the girls that I cut the promo on were like, were you serious? And I was like, no, like I don't give a fuck. Like, I was just talking shit. That's just, I thought that's what you're supposed to do, and it kind of just worked for me. And I kind of like that it's so believable that wrestlers even kind of like, holy shit, do we have heat here? Like, is there a problem? I like that. I think it's cool. Ew! Don't do the swivel! Fuck your swivel! Yeah, fuck you. Good.
That's what he gets for it.
Exactly. Fuck out of here.
Now, for example, it's kind of easy because you're in this business and you do the same thing. It's so much easier to carry on a relationship with someone that you do work with, especially in wrestling, because you guys share the same passion. So off the bat, you guys have something in common. How hard is it to maintain a relationship in professional wrestling when you guys are everywhere? You're in one town, he's in the other. And I'm just talking about in general. It doesn't have to be between you, but just in general, like when you're.
Well, me and Matt were dating. We've been dating on and off for 2 years now, and Matt, I was from Massachusetts when we first started dating, so being in different towns were never an issue, but Matt is very particular. So if he's very hard-ass at training. Yeah. So that alone was very stressful because you don't just see him as like, all right, that's my boyfriend. No, you see him as like somebody that wants to fucking see you do so fucking good, and he's going to fucking stay on your ass until you get it right.
Do you, as a girlfriend, have to put his passion for this business realize that might be number one and you might be 1A?
I never put myself first. I never want to, but he's also in school for physical therapy. Good. And that's very hard. So I try to tell him to balance himself out between the two, because if you concentrate too much on one, then the other one kind of starts slacking. You have to, it's a baseline. I never try to put myself first because I got my own shit to worry about. I got wrestling to worry about too. And he's always there if I need help with moves or matches. He's kind of my go-to person. And he gives me moves, like half of my moves I know because of him. So
yeah. So I mean, it is, you guys, share the same passion. So of course it's going to be easy for people to have relationships in the business. You see it everywhere now, especially on social media. Talk about social media. How do you think that you think it's a negative or a positive in this business? Because you said you're unfiltered. Something that gets you in trouble. Just your thoughts on social media, positive or negative for you? Mine's
in between because my thoughts on, he does this all the time. It's not even that special. He ain't even that cool. No, let's not even worry about that shit. Anyway, what were we talking about?
About social media, you be very unfiltered, but then could that get you in trouble?
Mine's in between. So I get heat from a group of people saying you shouldn't post too much on social media, which I get. You shouldn't post a bunch of feelings. I'm 23 years old. I kind of have no filter, and I kind of, when I'm pissed, I say it. I also have those people that kind of see where I'm coming from, and they're like, holy shit. They're like, oh, that's so cool that you said this. I get it. I relate. So it's kind of in between with me because I relate to a lot of different people.
And there are always positive and negatives no matter what you do. I mean, we like to at least sometimes focus on the positive because even though there's so much out there and so much content, people can contact you and talk so much negativity and whatever you do. It doesn't have to be professional wrestling. There's so much negativity out there that people just want to bring you down. It's also a huge positive because Jeff and I talked about in 2017 that it felt like such a huge boom for professional wrestling because of the ability of putting your content out there, of booking yourself, of promoting yourself, and branding yourself. Are you seeing it from that perspective too now, where like for negating all the bullshit that's out there, are you saying, listen, I can use this out to my advantage of branding myself, to making myself a name, so when it comes to 2018, people are going to be calling you rather than the other way around trying to reach out to other people?
I mean, it's crazy because when I took this break, I really thought like nobody was gonna hit me up, nobody's gonna want to talk to me because I wasn't posting a bunch of wrestling stuff.
Talk about Matt not giving himself credit. Seriously.
But when I posted saying like I'm looking for dates this month, I've gotten an abundance of messages, and I was so surprised because I wasn't posting, promoting myself and wrestling and all that stuff. But when people don't forget about you, and it's crazy because people are still following you and seeing what you're doing, and everyone literally thought I quit. And I was like, no, I didn't want to take a break, but then I had to. I was forced to, and I'm so grateful that I took that break because then I realized what I really wanted.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about wrestling fans is, you should know this, they're the most loyal bunch out there, and they'll never forget. They'll always remember. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. That's debate for the person that's dealing with it, but they will always remember. And with that, it just kind of shows the fact that they've appreciated your work as much as I and Jeff have appreciated your work. That we've seen a small little bit of it. Hopefully we see more of it in 2018. So Hellen, thank you so much for coming on the High Spot Podcast. It's been something we've been trying to. Hopefully you don't have to deal with lost luggage anymore in the near future. Knock on wood. Knock on wood, which kind of delayed this from happening. But you know what? Airports, they're difficult to deal with anyway, so I'm not going to worry about that.